Hello everyone, welcome to today's stream. Hello LM Gamer, you made it here just perfectly on point. um, I am gonna start with something that some people might not expect of me, but I kind of fancied building something for the third world, if you will. By that I mean an off-road going car. Well, mainly the two main criteria is it should be good off-road. Actually, three main criteria. It should be good off-road, it should be very reliable, and it should be able to run on 80 like low-grade fuel. So that's the sort of car I'm going to be building today, or as my first car at least. And let's see. This should be good, right? It only has 3 doors though. Does this have 5? Yes, it does. Okay. This is pretty big though. Hey Cody, how's it going? Any way of making this thing have 5 doors? I don't see it. This also only has 3 doors, but that's too small anyway. Let's go with this one then. Okay. So basically we're going to be making this cheap, we're going to be making this reliable and very good off-road, and it'll also run on, 80 grade low quality fuel. Good. So it's going to be a ladder chassis from steel, because you don't even need corrosion resistant steel in like, say, Africa or so. There is no snow, there is no chance of it rusting. Good man, just doing school. Yeah. Well, I'm doing fine, thank you. Thank you for asking. Solid axle coil? But man, like you don't prioritize my streams over school. Like school and real life in general is more important in most situations. But of course, if you have free time and when your time allows, I'm not gonna say anything against you watching my stream. So let's see. I'm gonna brand this as an AMW product, so that people in Africa know that these are Austrians that are, helping them move around a little bit more easily, more comfortably. I'm finishing up the class. I know. Okay, good. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, it's actually like winter holidays are like a semester. It's gonna be the end of the first semester soon, right? I mean, I only remember that now because I got it. It's been a few years since I've left school, so only now did I realize that. And we're gonna make this thing look relatively simple. It's gonna look a little bit old school for today's age in Europe, but it will be sort of appropriate for. It's gonna look more classic than normally, but it's gonna have like modern tech, and I already know that the engine is gonna be something we lift from another car, just significantly retuned. Okay, and I can't put this. I can't clone that in such a way that I put it here, so we'll just do that. I'm homeschooled. I don't even know what that means. I'm sorry, you're on the second semester already. Okay. Good. Congratulations for making it through the first one, and I don't really know what else I could you could say. Let's give this some simple door hammers like these. And pretty simple taillights as well, like again, this is not supposed to be, you know, a show off of the most refined styling techniques of the most modern you know, things you can do in a car. Is not, you know, taking it to the limits. It's sort of taking it to the extremes in another way, in that how simple and how approachable for, you know, the third world can you make a car. That's sort of an extreme that I haven't been really going for beforehand. Me too, I'm schooled at home, meaning I take my school. You take your school online. That's cool. That sounds really cool, actually. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fit this thing with all-wheel drive, I think, because it offers high drivability and also high off-road. Yeah, it's gonna be permanent all-wheel drive, and that's gonna make it easy to use. And that means that, you know, given that, you know, not a lot of, you know, what 215 should be fine actually. Given that not a lot of people in the market we're trying to sell this are going to be experienced drivers, it's best to have better drivability, I think, as opposed to, you know, maybe slightly better off-roading, but yeah, not a lot of traction in all situations. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick an engine block, I should say, which is the AMW V8 block that you can have in several cars. And yeah, this is the 50 T80. This is a 5-liter twin turbo V8, but of course we are gonna make this thing naturally aspirated here, and then also retune it so that we can use 80 like low quality fuel. For that also we are gonna lower the red line. We're gonna increase durability by lowering the cam profile significantly, and also we need to lower the compression quite a lot. So what we are going to do is do this. It's about 15. We need lower exhaust diameter. Like that. Reverse flow mufflers are probably fine. A regular freeway cat should do the job too. Oh no, let's keep the high flow one up there. We will have to lower the ignition timing, I think. Unit pound foot. 82.7 octane still. There we go. That is a setup that we can use with only 80 fuel octane. 277 pound-foot of torque doesn't even. Will there be a 4-cylinder version of it? I don't know. I don't know, but we will see if we will see just how this thing moves once it's gone. Actually, 24% economy is not bad at all, given that we're running like 7.4 to 1 compression ratio. We're also all the way leaned out. I don't know how important fuel economy is in the third world. I don't know the fuel prices and how many gas stations there are everywhere, but just in case, you know, we made it efficient. Nobody can ever complain. So, automatic gearbox with, I think, 5 speeds are going to be enough. You know, this is not going to be a Dakar Rally sort of car or anything like that, so we don't necessarily need a lot of top speed. What it would benefit from is the manual locker here, because it's great off-road, as you can see. And then the wheels, like, I'm gonna go with 205s all around for now. Off-road tires, steel rims, lots of profile. Like that. I think that should be good for now. Obviously, if you have any advice, feel free to comment in the chat. Let's see. Engineering time high. Let's give this thing vented discs up front. It shouldn't be a super heavy car, and then solid discs on the rear. An off-road skid tray is almost like mandatory at this point. Cooling airflow, because we're talking about like very hot temperatures, I'm gonna set this to a much higher value than required. Even so, this should be fine. Even with the temperatures that you can have in Africa, not only South America, also in Africa. Even with that, it should be fine. Seats. I'm gonna go with 5 seats. Then the interior can be like basic. Don't need very much of that. Basic infotainment. Power steering. ABS. We're gonna see about traction and stability control, because I really don't. A stability control on with such a high center of gravity is probably not a bad idea. Traction control I don't think we'll need. Safety should be standard, and then we are gonna go for. Now this is relatively expensive suspension here. It is the best for comfort and for off-roading, and very good for drivability. At the same time, it's very expensive too. This is also quite expensive. Think. Yeah, I might still go for it though. And then the off-road sway bars. And then a comfortable suspension setup, I guess. Because the comfort preset is usually also pretty good for off-road, so because they're both relatively soft and with pretty tall ride height. So let's see about the brakes. We do have some brake fade, probably in the rear, right? Yep. Okay, so we need bigger rims apparently. Bigger rims on the rear than up front. Drivability is really good, 59.4. Because the wider the tires, the more it'll grip. That's a different story off-road though, because when you're going, like there's often like these off-road paths that have like tracks on them, and when your tire is wider than the tracks, it's gonna be awful. I do a higher geared version and a lower geared version of it. Okay. I think narrow tires have more advantages off-road than wide tires. I'm gonna be gearing this a little bit taller. Off-road is going down slightly, but that is okay, because drivability is going up. Yeah, wheel spin is now better, 9.1% only. Drivability is 60.5. Power distribution we need to adjust. Or is it actually... It's actually perfect with 50 to 50. Markets. It should be pretty good here. In this market. Yeah, look at that. It does really well here. Utility sport. I mean, it is quite powerful. With 213 horsepower, that's nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, maybe... What do we call this thing? I don't know, but that is the V8 version. I think... Would it be a four? I think instead of a 4-cylinder Brahma, well, I could. Guess I don't have a better name for now. Okay. You know what? LM Gamer, I think I'm gonna do an inline 6 version of it, because, like, yeah, 4-cylinder will be cheap. Actually, you know what? Let's make an inline 4 and an inline 6 version of it. You know, in addition to the V8, because why not? Now, because we already have an inline 6. Well, this is the low quality. And then we have an inline 6 block already. Does this fit? Probably. We have a 3-liter eco version of this as well, which we are going to use as the basis of this inline 6 engine. Naturally aspirated. And again, like, really detuned. Only like this. 1700 RPM is where the peak torque comes in. Not anymore. Now it does. Okay, look at that linear torque band. I mean, we could even reasonably reduce this to 5500 RPM and it would still be okay. Low quality fuel. Reliability is solid. 78.5 is really strong reliability. What about this? Yeah, let's go with full reverse flow. Also, we need lower exhaust diameter. £170 pound-feet of torque, and given that, you know, you get basically the same in torque from 1500 RPM onwards, that's gonna feel quite solid indeed. It's not gonna be a particularly slow car. Why is the drivability lower now? Only because of the gearing, right? Yeah. Okay. Off-road is higher. That's gonna have smaller brakes. Oh. Maybe not, because they will fade. Slant 6 territory, that's real nice. Still 1450 kilograms. It's not. I mean, it's not a super heavy car, obviously. It's not a very light car either, though. Well, let's see. What is causing the drivability? The tire? Yeah, but that's just because they're off-road tires, just like on the V8. Under almost. Yeah. Okay, we. Oh, okay. Well. Didn't expect that one. Didn't expect this steering graph to be so much on this body on the side. Damper stiffness. That is not good. Stiffer dampers. It doesn't ride very well, does it? Let's readjust it here. No. Off-road? No. If we just go for slightly wider rear tires, then it's fine. Then again, I want like front and rear tires to be interchangeable. Like so if your rear tires are worn out, you can put them on the front and the other way around. Yeah, that's better. But I still think I wanna. That should help. No, it won't. Will this help? Yes, it will. 60 drivability, okay, that's good. Nice. Nice. So that's the inline 6. Low quality. 396. And then we're gonna clone this guy. If you know his weight bar stiffness. You're bottoming. Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot to look at that. I will change that on all of the trims. If you have like a full cylinder block 2, or is that in 2016? I think it is. Let me see. No, it doesn't look like it. What is this then? Yeah, this is the engine block that I was looking for. In any case, there is no 2-liter version of this, right? No, there is not. So I'm gonna make a new variant. It's gonna have cast iron, and probably like forged pistons, and then yeah, the biggest possible capacity here. We had like 15 cam profile, and the compression was at 7.4, I think, for the other engines. Naturally aspirated, direct injection. It's running on this for now, like until we really figure out how to tune this thing. Two reverse flow mufflers. Oh, okay, it's fine already. 7.5 is still okay. 91.8 horsepower should be okay, I think. How do we make the torque come in earlier though? We can lower the cam profile. That is something I like to see. Very, very flat power curve at the very end. And now I'm also gonna lower the red line to like 5700 to increase, actually 5500, to increase reliability some more. We can also lower the exhaust diameter. Gives us a little bit more torque. Good. Now again, okay, we are bottoming out now again. There is that. We should, if you lower this way past, decrease the front camber, I think. We don't need camber anyway. It's an off-roader, it doesn't need camber. How about the brakes? .275's rear are fine, it seems. Okay. Off-road tires. Gearbox needs to be, readjusted. I'm even thinking about like giving the 4-cylinder a 6-speed gearbox. That's where we were at before, right? I have GTA 5 and I have played it on my channel. You can check my videos out. Okay. That is the inline-4 then. I'm gonna come back to this into this trim, but first I'm gonna Q24E. First I'm gonna check the inline 6 and V8 for bottoming out. Yeah, we do have that. And then the V8. It's not bottoming out. Should probably soften the springs. Don't need stiff springs at all. And we don't need camber. There we go. 61.4 drivability for a V8. For a V8 off-roader. It's gonna be really, really good. Yeah, that's something I forgot as well here. $60.6. Good. Right, so that is a third world off-roader, if you will. I mean, I guess the V8 could be one of those, you know, long-running, everlasting. This could be one of those cars that you'll see people drive in the third world in like 30 years still, because it's so like reliability is 76.2 without using any quality sliders or whatsoever. Like that is some robust tech right there. It'll last a while. 78.5 reliability is very good. If we could try and bother making some parts more durable on this engine. I mean, it is the V8. It is going to be the most expensive version of the lineup anyway. But even so, yeah, let's do it. Let's make like... Oh, we are running relatively expensive materials here. Let's give it like +5 quality here, and +5 quality in the fuel system. Could you make a car that does 50 mpg? I probably can. Okay, 282 pounds-feet now. That would be better in economy as well. It'll have better reliability. Reliability went up from 76.2 to 78.6. Okay. Let's see how she's running. That is just, I mean, 15.8 seconds is not bad at all for a V8 that runs on 80 run fuel and is sold in a third world as sort of a, like, this V8 has been detuned basically all the way to the max. Got to go, I have to go to science. See ya, LM Gamer. See you next time. Yeah, this V8 has been detuned so much, but this is certainly still fast enough for, you know, places where there's not even like real roads and whatnot. it'll be $22,600. That's still remarkably cheap, though. Utility sport. Yeah, now it's sort of not as green everywhere anymore because it's more expensive due to the quality. But what about the inline 6? 60.3. Also, one more thing I've noticed is that the smaller we went with the engine, the less drivability we have, which is sort of weird to think of. Or because we have a rear weight bias. That's why. Markets. Arcana. $15,900 for an inline 6 off-roader. Yeah, there we go. Off-road, off-road premium, heavy utility. Heavy utility? Utility sport, family utility premium, light delivery. It's green in a lot of segments here. Even sport budget, 68.2 competitiveness. Pony, 79.7. But wait, 32.8% affordability. 26% affordability in utility. 26% affordability with a price of $15,900. Like, what do we want? I mean, it's so cheap already, but let's see what the inline 4 would do. Markets. $14,200. Even that would only get like 32.2% affordability. Off-road utility, 17.3%. How cheap do I have to go if I want to be affordable in the off-road utility class in Arcana? Does it have to be like $6,000 selling price or something? It's ridiculous.